I thought it was really worth having a conversation with Libby because I sat in on the Gen Z panel yesterday, and it's really interesting hearing a whole panel of people across different organisations and a different field to where we work. So I'm in the vertical space, Libby's largely in the infrastructure space, and I could see a whole lot of parallels and then some differences. So Libby, I really enjoyed talking about working with that multi-generational workforce and what you get out of it and what they get out of it. And I thought it was lovely because I think you said that it made you realise you had to be a bit more patient or you didn't know everything, and you've learnt a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, because I knew nothing about the industry coming into it, so it was a culture shock, but I realised pretty quickly how much knowledge our older guys on site have, and so I just leached off them, and it was good that I was comfortable with them and built those relationships. So I credit everything that I do, I credit it to them and them sharing the knowledge with me.
And for me, the role of women in construction is really important. You know, I feel like I am often the squeaky voice that is calling that out, which is what I did on the panel this morning, because last night at the awards, we had 7 fantastic projects, and there were a couple of women in the videos. Not one woman was up there picking up a certificate, and I think that's worth calling out. I reckon that what you've done with working with that multi-generational group, they will now think about women quite differently because of those interactions you've had. And in terms of tech, I'm interested, like the vertical space is probably very different to infrastructure space, which is very dogmatic in terms of specifications. And when you look at our space, we are rewarded in the D&C space for making buildings thinner, using different materials, etc. So I'm sort of interested in whether you think that we've got different tech, whether this conference has given you an insight into different ways of doing things.
It's definitely highlighted. I think in the building space, you do have those metrics of what's sort of sustainable or...
Yes.
And we don't have that in infrastructure. It's really hard to measure, and I don't really think, particularly, you know, I'm always in sewers, and you can't fly tech down sewers because it's explosive. So it's how can we really implement this? We've got to keep sort of looking around and talking to all the exhibitors out there.
Yeah, I think that's right.